At this point in time, it's very few nursing homes that can accommodate residents with trachs, vents, and there's very little access in Arkansas for people in those situations that are totally Medicaid, and there's no Medicaid rate that will take care of that in a nursing home at this time unless they're going to Arkansas Health Services, which is where we refer most people. And also then we have a whole dialysis segment that that can't be in nursing homes because we, again, don't have a rate that accommodate the costs of those direct care. And so
those are very helpful comments, and we're scribbling fast over here because an implication of varying the payment according to the level of need or intensity of the services needed is that there would be more money available for the higher needs, more intense patient. And certainly a question that I have is, if we did pay more for those services, would that alleviate at least the geographic, if not the overall access issue you've just described?
You're talking about tying the 5-star. There are facilities that specialize in like wound care. I take a lot of wounds. My measure on the quality indicators are quite large in that area. But yet if you tie that to the direct care cost and make me take money away from me in the direct care cost, then I can't provide the specialty that I'm doing on wound care because I then can't afford to buy the necessary treatments. You're going to force me to go down in the level of supplies that I'm buying, and you're going to take money away from me. So that's the reality of what you're talking about doing and what's going to happen.
So let me clarify that I don't want to do that. And so if that's what you heard, that's not what I intended to say. And it's probably going to take us 2 or 3 of these work groups to kind of come up with the right terminology, because what I intended to say was I'll pay more for the higher needs patient. What I also said was we're not proposing to use the 5-star rating. It's all we have right now, and we're asking for your suggestions on how better to measure outcomes and quality, and that may end up being different, for different kinds of patients. So in fact, what we're asking is intended in part to provoke, because we have to start somewhere, and we really can't put this off for another year or two. So please help us to identify the better measures of outcomes and quality, and the more that you can tell us about your high cost, your special needs, the way in which you as a facility have specialized already, and how that works for the Medicaid population in Arkansas, all of that would be really helpful, because we want to incentivize the right things in direct care. What I also know is we don't do that now. We pay the same for every level of need. So what I'm sure of is that I am not paying for the kind of specialized outcome and patient that you are caring for now. I'm paying for an average, and I would prefer to actually pay for that, for the special need and the higher quality. We don't have a specific fix yet. We're focusing on the data. Let me turn this over to Connie Parker from DAS, and she's going to go over the next couple of slides dealing with HCBS services.
Home and community-based programs, the slide here shows that we have had program costs that have increased 7% over from 2006 to 2012, and this is based on the claims data. And you'll see on the first one where it's got client enrollment that it's showing it across 3 programs that we're looking at, that the claims data was pulled on. Independent Choices is the light blue, AAPD is the kind of lavender color, and Elder Choices is a little bit darker blue. And you see client enrollment has increased 3% over this time frame. the total paid on those 3 programs has increased 10% over that same time frame. And then that average daily paid claims per client for the different programs have increased 7% over that time frame. And any questions about that? Okay. Okay. If there are any home and community-based providers in here, you know how the reimbursement works, that it's on a fee-for-service system according to the plans of care approved by DHS. For elder choices, the nurse, the DHS RN, goes out and performs the client assessment, develops the plan of care with the client, and then provides the provider with that plan of care. The provider then provides the services and bills Medicaid against that plan of care. And there are specified rates for each unit of service. For AAPD is basically the same. The nurse does the assessment, develops a plan of care, it goes to the provider. There are caps set on the environmental modifications, and there are also caps set on the hours of attendance service that the client can receive, and that can be billed. Independent choices, again, the nurse completes the plan of care, and a monthly cash allowance is based on that plan of care, and the fiscal intermediary, PALCO, manages that. The client is aware of, what they're allowed to use in terms of monthly cash allowance. The assisted living program, the last one, is the DHS RN in the assessment determines which of the 4 care tiers the client would be eligible for, and the assisted living facility bills according to that tier level.